Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Zelda II, The Resurrection of Ganon, a fan-made hack of Zelda II, The Adventure of Link. We're off to the Great Palace. It's the final dungeon in the game. And we're going there to resurrect Ganon and then defeat him so that we can lift the curse that his spirit has put upon this land. So we gotta travel through this lava-filled type area to get there. There are going to be 3 encounter zones, like I just showed there. You have to stop them by having to jump over a big pit, and there's a lizard man there guarding. So if he hits you, he knocks you back into the pit. And then there's a few other long pits to jump over further on, and those Moai eyes are flying around, making it really difficult. So just to avoid them, we're going to use that encounter skip trick, where we just get into a random encounter on the same square as the scripted encounter is, and then we can bypass the scripted encounter that way. All of the random encounters, be they hard or easy, basically take place in that same area where you gotta avoid Moai eyes and jump over some lava pits. You can use the spell to turn all the eyes, or at least all the eyes on the screen, into the blobs. That will make things a little bit easier. Not much you can do about the lizards or the red eyes that float around. Spell only works on tiny enemies. So we're just gonna wait. Hopefully get a easier passage through this encounter. There we go. First time. That first one was a little bit difficult. I'd rather move a little early and go into the set encounter zone, and then just have to walk back out, than potentially have to deal with an extra one of these random encounters, even though they're not that hard. There's a cave. There's 2 caves we gotta go through. But neither of them are very hard either. So might be a lizard man or 2 and some, but otherwise not that difficult. Good thing for us is we'll be getting a refill. We should hit the 6,000 experience sometime on our journey, and that'll give us 1 refill of either life or magic. And then there's quite a few pots that are dropped in the Great Palace. Finish off one of these scorpions. I know we did one in an earlier episode, but there we go. Got some revenge. And good thing we got the guard spell up. Bat. That's having a problem again. Reminds me back in one of the first episodes I did where I, in order to avoid a bat, I got hit by a Dahlia's axe. It was not very smart of me. But what is smart, like I said, is avoiding all these encounter zones, because they are really annoying. So, see, they're much easier to just get the random encounters. It may take a few tries, but trust me, you'll save magic and time probably in the long run. Because if you die during one of those set encounter zones, you basically start back at the beginning of the encounter zone, have to redo everything you did there. So death is not very good there. So, since I'm going to get a refill up here, might as well just use some magic. That way I can fill up my magic then with the level up. There we go. If I was a little quicker, I could have used the life spell first, and then, in addition to all the spells I used, healed some of my life up, but was not quick on the draw. Another pot. Now we can use the life spell. We're still very close to full magic. Like I said, there will be plenty of pot drops in the Great Palace, which you can't see on this map because it's the tile that takes us to the Great Palace is hidden under that River Devil sprite. Another reason why we needed the flute, although you couldn't even get to here if you didn't have the flute. Remember, there was one River Devil blocking the way to this area. We have one last cave to go through. This was actually shorter than the first cave we went through. You don't have to do that one section where there's a whole bunch of eyes. It's basically the second half of the cave. That'll get us into the area where the Great Palace is. It has the same layout as in the base game, similar to the other palaces, but you do have to make one change. In the regular game, you basically go right in one area, and this one you would go left. So we just blow our flute, step on where the river devil was. It looks like the barrier is there, but remember, all the palaces we went into, they already had the crystals put in them. So the barrier is down. You got a lot of annoying enemies in this area. It's like the theme seems to be birds. So you got these birds that shoot fireballs. They're nicknamed Spicy Chickens in the Zelda II speedrunning community. It'd be quite annoying. Now you got, I guess, spicy snakes. There are going to be several rooms like this. Luckily, the first one that we go into, they're all going to be the same, where there's a small gap after the pillar, so you just have to jump that. It was nice that they showed that. They had that little snake there to show that off. So in the base game, you would go left there, but in this game, we're going to go right. It's a weird way. It kind of almost looks like it's taking you to a dead end, but the way the rooms load is weird, but like I said, it gets you to the end. Another spicy chicken. Take him out. Now, there's quite a few elevators that are long, and those long elevators, you'll end up in just a room with just a long corridor going down. Those are the rooms where there's often a hidden wall, a fake wall on the left that leads to an area where there could be there's a statue where there could be a bird, like Iron Knuckle, Birdman Iron Knuckle, or a red pot. And of course you can, just like with the red Iron Knuckle statues and palaces, you can reset. If you get a bird, leave, come back in, fight until you get a pot. It does require using the jump spell though, so here's those birds that I was saying. You mainly just avoid them, because they're very hard to fight. They jump around so much. And then they all throw swords, even the red variety there. We will have to fight a blue one. Yay, we just managed to. So as you can see, we've just got this empty room here. We just go down about 3/4 of the way, head off to the side, and see if we get a pot. Nope, we got a red bird, man. So we're gonna leave the room, reset it, come back, try again. It's difficult to get the exact positioning. There we go. Let's try again. Round 2. And we got the red pot, nice. So now we can basically fill up our life and our magic. There was an extra one up, but you have to go all the way around to basically to the end of the palace, to a dead end to get it. So I'm not getting that one up. But more spicy chickens. Just like I guess they're paying homage to the Thunderbird with kind of the second, the penultimate boss in the original game. Although he was arguably tougher than Dark Link, the final boss, because Dark Link you can cheese by hiding in the left corner of the room, ducking, and just keep stabbing, and he'll walk into your sword. But the resurrected Ganon is going to have the same attack pattern as the Thunderbird, so there was sort of a cheap way to deal with the Thunderbird. It's not foolproof, but it is one way to reduce the chance of him damaging you. So, just like how I fought the Thunderbird in my Zelda II Let's Play, I'll be fighting the Spirit of Ganon, or the Resurrected Ganon, that way too. I'll also be fighting this Blue Bird Man the same way too. You basically just hang out here, on the top of the 4th block, and he'll never be able to jump high enough to hit us. But he will jump high enough that we can stab him in the head when he jumps. He just has a little bit of patience, and eventually he'll jump into us and we finish him off. It's weird that he's only worth 150, the same as the blue Iron Knuckle, but he's obviously much more difficult than the blue Iron Knuckle because he's jumping around. Good old crumble bridges. At least the moves on them are easy. They're the one-hit moves instead of 3 hits. Of course, most difficult enemy in the game, the blobs, because they're so random in what they can do. Let's head on down. Yeah, it may take a little while, but attack power 8 shouldn't take too long to destroy bubbles. You want to get them out of the way because, if you can, because remember, the worst thing about them is they steal your magic when they hit you. And we'll just, it's too rough fighting that spicy chicken with the dragon head, so we'll just leave him be. I imagine it's like every other video game. Once you beat the big boss of the game, like all the bad guys quit. You know, it doesn't make sense in some video games. Like there's one game, this Fire Emblem game that I'm kind of practicing on, and a lot of the objectives are sometimes like seize a throne, and you can seize the throne, and you win the map, but there's like, you know, still like a whole army there, you know, to defeat you. But they're like, oh, he got the throne, he reached the throne, he's, we're just gonna give up. It's like, oh. I guess it was like that in Crystal Warriors too. Remember, you could just, you can either defeat all the enemies on the stage to defeat it, or you could seize the castle. Of course, in that game, you wanted to defeat all the enemies because of experience, to level up your characters. I did 2 playthroughs of that one with the initial army that you come with, and then one where you recruited all the characters. I actually just got the sequel to that. One of these years, I'm gonna have to maybe do like a big tactical series. I got Royal Stone, which is the sequel to Crystal Warriors. Very similar. And then there's Tactics Ogre and Tactics Ogre Knights of Lotus. So yeah, we leave the left room there, and even though we were at the bottom, or the top, when we go back into the room, we're at the bottom. So if you go the way to get that one up, you end up in that room above where the bubble is, that big bubble. So we land down here, we got another 50-50 shot, bird or pot. So we obviously want to get the pot because we're very near to the end. Leave, head on back. It's a little bit of time, but like I said, it'll save our life. Besides, we basically want to go in with a full magic meter to fight Ganon because we're going to need at least half of our magic meter, 64, which is 4 of the blocks up there, to cast the resurrect spell. And then you want to have at least the guard spell up because that will cut damage in half, and then jump spell is also not required, but it makes hitting the resurrected Ganon much easier. Just be careful here. Downward thrust in case there's an enemy that pops in there out of nowhere. Watch the big blob. Yeah, he appears out of nowhere. I don't know why I'm killing these blobs. Full life, full heart, full magic. Maybe I just wanted to show off how tough they are. I like super bots. It reminds me of the slimes in Dragon Warrior. I just had that Dragon Warrior playthrough, Dragon Warrior 5, and sometimes there was the blue slimes that there would be, when there was 8 of them together, they'd merge into King Slime. This is the room where the Thunderbird is in the base game. We got a spicy chicken instead. And like that one we left with the dragon heads, we'll leave this guy to live. Now we're off to fight Ganon. Like I said, Ganon first appears as a spirit. You can't hurt him in this form. We're just gonna get our guard and jump spell up and ready. And then once he gets on the screen, you can barely see him. You just see him when the outline appears on the top when he's going toward the blue curtains. And he just flies around and he does the same pattern as the Thunderbird. So like the Thunderbird, we're going to lure him to the side of the screen. And that will remove half of the fireballs that he's shooting. In this case, they're skulls. But that'll get half his projectiles off the screen. And then when he comes back around to the other side, we'll stab him. So the hitbox is a little weird on him. It's almost like right above his snout. So we gotta hit him. So we just pull him off to the side, get half his fireballs out of the way, then we run off to the other side. You might have to do a little bit of dodging out the corners to avoid the fireballs, but we keep that pattern up. And eventually, Ganon falls. We get 1,000 experience points, and more importantly, we get the Triforce. And we have successfully removed the curse plaguing Hyrule. And then we'll get to see the credit. And once again, we get to kiss Zelda. Although there was a website, I think it's called like Behind the Screen, where somebody like plays games and they play them, but they take layers off. And yeah, and they just if you take that curtain layer off, Link and Zelda just move closer together. They don't actually kiss, or in this case, Bob and Zelda. I had a Princess Zelda. I named all my goals after princesses, so I had a Princess Zelda. Unfortunately, her and her sister, Princess Guinevere, they both had some brain issues and didn't live as long as I would have liked them to have lived. But while they were with me, I gave them the best home that I could. So, and here we just get the staff roll, the staff credits. And just like the base game, after you completed a quest, you can restart the quest again. Your character will have all the magic, all the techniques, so the upward thrust and the downward thrust, and have all the levels that you completed the game with. So in this case, Bub will have 8 magic, 8 life, 8 attack. But we won't start with any of the heart containers or any of the match containers. And unfortunately, because we don't do that crystal into the statue to get a whole bunch of experience points, we can't use that cheat that I showed off in my Zelda 2 playthrough, where you can power level one of your new starting characters. So that'll be it for this Let's Play. So I have another hack on the agenda right now that I'm working on, Dragoon X Omega 1, and then there's Dragoon X Omega 2, so they'll probably be the next 2 games that I'll be playing, so hopefully you'll be around to follow them. Omega 1 is a hack of Dragon Warrior 1, Omega 2 is a hack of Final Fantasy, and both 2 is a sequel to 1, so yeah, I hope you come back and enjoy them. Thanks for your support. Bye!